Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. Just another recent finds video. Stuff I've picked up over the past couple weeks. Um, some stuff here in local stores, some things I've bought online, a couple of things, actually three things that Billy Hearst, our boy Billy here in the VC, picked up and found and picked up for me. So yeah, just a number of things and definitely some very cool stuff too. So. And then I did mention too in my last video or video before last that it was kind of not a big story, but like a cool little story I wanted to share about a local record shop. So I'll make sure to kind of do that at the end of this video. So those that maybe just want to see the music, don't want to hear about that, you can tune out after the last album. But let me just kind of jump right in. A lot of this is common stuff too, a lot of pieces, so I'm not going to go into a ton of detail with everything, but I had picked up a few CDs over the past couple weeks as well, and these are three in particular I wanted to kind of share. One is Derek and the Dominoes. Of course, this is Layla. You guys know this one extremely well. This is a really cool find too because there's a CD store that I usually go to and I look through their new arrival stuff all the time, and it's usually just kind of nothing special whatsoever. And then this one just odd Japanese CD just shows up in the middle of nowhere. It only had $8.99 on it too, in just perfect condition. So I was like, that was a great score because I love those Japanese pressings. And then, as I've been mentioning, these deluxe CDs are something I'm really starting to get into quite a bit. And this is Counting Crows, August and Everything After. And again, you guys know that album all too well. Just saw them in concert a few weeks ago, actually. And then the Human League. And this is a very British synthesizer group. Just kind of a 2 CD, more or less greatest hits from their early stuff, and then, kind of going on up through their more, mainstream, notable 80s stuff like Keep Feeling Fascination, Human, and Don't You Want Me, and all that great stuff. But definitely an awesome synth band. I've always loved them, and that's a nice little 2 CD set. Going to the albums here. Number one, the only thing I wanted this record store day, and I was glad that I got a copy of it, was Collective Soul, Hence Allegations, and Things Left Unsaid. So I was really happy I got a chance to pick this up because one of the things that I'm just not really into now, or really for like the past 5 or 6 years, is record store day. It's turned into such a Black Friday mob type of thing that I just don't get any enjoyment out of it anymore. So usually if I do go out for record store day, it's kind of after the rush, after the afternoon, really kind of going in towards the latter part of the day. And that's really more so about just looking, just like a regular day of just digging and wanting to maybe do something to support the stores that day. Because the whole line up outside and the mob thing and the people buying and wanting to flip on eBay right away and all of that, it's like that crap's it's just not fun to me, and I just don't want to kind of be a part of that. But and again, my opinion, some people probably love it to death. A lot of people do because it's huge. So but it's just not for me anymore. But every now and then, like I said, there will be a piece that'll come up like this, and I was glad to get my hands on a copy of that. And they needed reissuing all of Collective Soul stuff anyway. I mean, that was an amazing band. They had so many great albums, so many great songs, and the fact that those have not been issued or reissued up to this point in time with all the other stuff just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I was in a store somewhere, and actually I saw this online a few times too, and they reissued like Herb Alpert, the Tijuana Brass, that Cream. What's that album called? The one with the girl on the cover covering the whipped cream or whatever. Have you ever been to a record store and not seen a copy of that album? Like of all the things to pick to reissue, another video, right? Yeah, whole nother video. Let's move right along. Picked up one nice Mofi piece here. There was a store on eBay that was having a really good sale, and I was able to pick this up, brand new copy of Elvis Costello's Punch the Clock for less than $20, which was awesome. And this is a cool album too. Well, maybe I should say, I am not a fan of Elvis Costello. I mean, literally 90% of his stuff I just can't stand. I don't get it at all. This is the one album that I love by him. So, and it's a shame too, because he's one of the artists that, when you look at all the different Mofi pressings and all just the stuff that's out there, there's tons of stuff that they press for him, but it's like, I don't like it. Press the stuff I like. But yeah, so, you know, really good, really cool to kind of get this in my collection. This has Every Day I Write the Book, which is probably my favorite song by him. Well, it was a song that introduced me to him, quite frankly, back in the 80s. So, no wonder I kind of really like this album, too. So, that was another great addition. And then we have some Japanese pressings here. REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity. Of course, you guys know this album inside and out. This is another kind of one of their albums at their 80s pinnacle, if you will. You know, songs like Keep On Loving You, Take It On The Run, and Don't Let Him Go, which is probably, to this day, my favorite REO Speedwagon song. Well, a song I really didn't care for, you know, with the years and years it had been out, and I had heard it, I don't know how many times, but it was just like one of their, you know, average 80s okay songs. And then when I saw them in concert like 5 or 6 years ago, something like that, it was REO Styx and Ted Nugent. And they played that song, Don't Let It Go, and I got obsessed with it after that concert. And I can't even really necessarily explain why. And to this day, it's my favorite REO song to listen to now. But yeah, so great piece there. That was an awesome concert too, because I mean, REO nailed it, of course. Styx totally nailed it, of course. But Ted Nugent was really he was the opener, and he was kind of the highlight, quite frankly. Because it's one thing to listen to Ted Nugent, you know, and grab an album and throw on Cat Scratch Fever or something like that. But until you see Ted do what he does live, I mean, seeing him and hearing him play Cat Scratch Fever live was one of the heaviest, meanest things I've ever seen live as far as just a musical performance. I mean, it was just a beast of a song. And it's sad because it's not really captured on any of his live recordings, and I'm not sure you can, quite frankly. But anyway, again, I'm getting off into a whole different video. Let's keep moving along here. Van Halen. Of course, you guys know Van Halen 1, just a total classic. I'm not saying anything about that. And Van Halen 2. Sorry about the glare. So 2 fantastic additions. And I have a sealed copy of this, a reissue that I'm actually getting rid of. So actually, almost all these things I have copies I'm now getting rid of, because I got the Japanese pressings. But again, shoot me a message down there, let me know if there's something that you need. But with my Japanese Van Halen collection, I now have 1 and 2, as well as 5150. So I would love to get my hands on a next OU812 and 1984, ideally, and then kind of Women, Children First after that. So if any of you have that good stuff out there, let me know. The next 3 here are 3 that Billy Hearst picked up for me. You know, Billy's kind of the king of digging. He finds stuff all over the place, and so sometimes when he stumbles across stuff that he knows I'm kind of interested in, you know, he's really cool. He'll take pictures of it and shoot me messages. You want me to grab this for you? Blah blah blah. Sometimes he'll even grab it and say, you know, like, hey, yeah, I'll just grab this and we can do a trade, because there's some stuff that you have that I want, or whatever else. So, you know, awesome guy. Of course, let's say you guys know Billy. And so we were hanging out the other night, and I got these from him, some things that he picked up for me. Number 1, Pat Benatar, Crimes of Passion. And this is going to be another repeat, because you guys have probably heard me say this literally 9-10 times in different videos. Do not sleep on Pat. Do not get locked into thinking she's just you know, an 80s whatever with songs like Hit Me With Your Best Shot and Love Is a Battlefield. You dive into her catalog, you will find that this woman can rock with the best of them. And so I'm definitely trying to replace all the stuff I have by her with Japanese pressings, and Crimes of Passion is a great addition. He also came across this Journey, Frontiers. Kind of another album that catches a group towards their pinnacle. I mean, you know, here you have Separate Ways and Faithfully, all that great stuff. And of course, Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy. Another great pressing there. So 3 awesome pickups thanks to Billy Hearst, man. So I really appreciate you looking out for me and bringing these in. And of course, you know, in here you have, like, you know, You're in Love, Lay It Down, which, quite frankly, and I've said this once and I'll catch crap for it again, but Lay It Down, to me, one of the top 3 best guitar intro licks to any rock song ever. It's in my top 3 list. That's just how badass I think that lick is. Just something about it. I love the guitar tone. It's clean, yet it's kind of raunchy. It's kind of sleazy. It's kind of it just has like so much tied into it. And I love that intro lick. I can listen to it over and over. Doobie Brothers, Taking It to the Streets. Beautiful pressing of that there. For those maybe that don't know the Doobie Brothers that well, you know, 2 songs you probably recognize off of here would be It Keeps You Running and Taking It to the Streets. Really, really good album. This album here is I describe it as being just very pleasant to listen to, because it's not just kind of one thing from front to back. Like, they really kind of go to different places showing their musical ability and things like that, and it's just a really pleasant album to listen to. So you have some stuff that's very like southern rockish and all that, but then you also have songs like like It Keeps You Running, which literally sounds like someone playing one of those little, you know, 14-inch keyboards that maybe you had when you were younger, you know, just kind of to fool around like a little toy. It like literally sounds like that's what they're playing, but it's just really a really good album. But anyway, moving right along. So those are the Japanese pressings. Then I have a couple of music on vinyl pressings that I picked up. One being Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, and of course you guys know this album inside and out. I have a very nice mint Columbia pressing, a reissue of it, which sounded great. But when I saw this music on vinyl one the other day, since I'm really starting to get into those pressings, I decided to replace it. So, but then this one sounds fantastic as well, so I was very happy with that. I used to have one of the 200 gram, reissues, and I actually ended up selling that one because a guy offered me much more than I paid for it. So, but moving right along, Blue Oyster Cult, Agent of Fortune. Another nice pickup on music on vinyl pressing. You know, Don't Fear the Reaper, all that great stuff. Genuine, The Bachelor. This is one I've been eyeing for quite some time. It's been out for a little while now. Nice 2 LP set. It's not very expensive either. You know, this is one you can find online for $20, $22, something like that. I just wasn't willing to spend the money for it because I liked the album, wanted it, but just, you know, wasn't willing to drop money for it, so to speak. But again, I was at a store the other day and I had credit, and whenever I get some credit, that usually can change what I'm willing to pick up or not. So nice to finally get this in the collection, because I am happy that I did. This is one of those albums where each song on it is kind of like a love or hate thing. It's not like, oh, it's okay from front to back. It's like, no, I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it, type of thing. But the one song that most people tend to know off of that is Pony, which is probably one of his bigger hits. But really good pressing, and was really put together well too, so it was definitely worth it. Earth, Wind, and Fire, Open Your Eyes, Open Our Eyes, I always say your. A beautiful copy of that. So a great addition to the Earth, Wind, and Fire collection. And this is a good album too to bring up something that people share with me or make comments about all the time, because even like with some of the stuff that I got here, or that, you know, just in general lately, you know, when I replace like an original pressing I may have of something that maybe is not in perfect condition with a reissue that is in perfect condition, and people are like, you know, why are you getting rid of your original pressings? Those are better, and blah blah blah. And I'm one that when it comes to different groups, different pressings and all that type of stuff, I don't get too wrapped up in this is original pressing and this is a reissue. This is what. There's two things that really matter to me, which is really if if I'm not experiencing a huge sound difference between the pressings that I may have, so it doesn't matter to me whether it's original or reissue, and quite frankly, the quality in terms of condition and everything means more to me than necessarily if it's a reissue or an original pressing. So I would rather have a great sounding reissue in mint condition than an original pressing that's a little bit rough but keeping it because it's original. But oddly enough, it really depends from band to band. You know, some bands I want reissues. Other bands I only want original pressings and would not dare touch a reissue. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just what's in my gut about that particular band. And so Earth, Wind, and Fire, I kind of went into that just because Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of those bands. I'm working on and been working on collecting their entire discography on vinyl as much as it was pressed, and I refuse to buy any reissues whatsoever. It's like I only want original pressings. So that's made it a little bit tough because you find Earth, Wind, and Fire stuff everywhere, but it's always ringware, rough condition, and people have actually played it, you know. And on top of that, I refuse to spend more than $9.99 on any Earth, Wind, and Fire album. So, yeah, I want some of the more rare Earth, Wind, and Fire original pressings, perfect mint condition for less than $9.99. You know, kind of setting some tough parameters in some spaces. So that's why this one was, again, really exciting to find. You know, and again, I'm not sure, unless you're a big Earth, Wind, and Fire fan, you probably wouldn't even recognize any of the songs off of this, but not to mention a gold stamp promo, which is kind of cool. So beautiful find there. Motorhead, Bad Magic. I've almost completed my Motorhead CD box set, and I've just kind of decided to start working on completing my Motorhead vinyl collection too. So just another new piece added there. And the last one, Falco. Something I've been meaning to add for a number of years now, and stumbled across this really nice pressing the other day. And most people tend to know the song, of course, Rock Me Amadeus off of this, but from front to back, it is a pretty decent album. I mean, it's just kind of Falco doing his Falco thing. I think technically this is Falco 3. So yeah. Yeah, so those are the additions over the past couple weeks, and again, some great stuff. Very, very happy to bring into my collection. And then quick tale on the story. Try to keep this under the next 3 minutes. Again, it's not a big thing. It was just something that was really cool that happened. I thought there's a local record store that I go to, quite a bit, and I've gotten to know the guys that work there and everything because they're pretty much all cool guys. I haven't met a jerk there by any means yet, which is really nice. And one of the guys who is, I'm not sure if he's the owner or just the manager, but he's one of the guys that makes a lot of the significant decisions. And I was in there one day and knew they were getting ready to move and all of that. And I said, hey, if you guys need any help moving or anything, just kind of, let me know. It's like, I'd be happy to help you out. Small independent store. I know, you're not just rolling in cash. We're just hiring companies to come in and do all this stuff. And moving vinyl kind of is a pain anyway. So I was like, yeah, just kind of let me know. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll pass it on to the owner and that type of thing. And I was like, and I wouldn't even necessarily, I'm not looking for pay or anything. It's like, just kick me a discount on some sales or, a gift certificate or something like that. I'll just do whatever I do for store credit. So like, okay, I'll let you know. Called me up. I was like, yeah, come on down, help us out this day. So I went down there and it was a blast. I mean, number one, it was so much freaking fun because they've moved a couple of times, and one of the things they've been smart enough to do is they put all of their display things are on wheels, which is really smart. So it's just a matter of rolling stuff to the elevators, rolling it down, rolling it to the... So with as much vinyl as we moved, it was pretty darn easy actually to do the move. And so we're there for like maybe 4 or 5 hours on the Sunday, or a Sunday. It was a couple weeks ago, and it was fun. I mean, just seeing the new place, you know, moving stuff in and sharing what they're going to be doing with the place, and you know, giving your little inputs and that type of thing. And of course, we're all just talking music and everything the entire time. It was just a really great time. So afterwards, they ordered some food, and we were sitting there eating. And the owner comes and pulls me to the side, and he's just like, you know, really appreciate what you did. You know, he shared some words with me and that type of thing. And he handed me a gift certificate, which was a very nice amount, number one. But then he said, you know, and on top of that, 20% off for you for the rest of your life. He goes, as long as I have the store, you get 20% off of everything in this store. And so it was again, just kind of a really cool moment because I wasn't expecting all of that. But, you know, again, he just kind of showed his appreciation, and I don't know, they just always had a cool store, cool guys, and I just saw it as an opportunity to kind of help them out, and it was, again, it was so much fun doing it, and yeah, that was kind of just something extra that he threw on top of there, so I was like, oh, dude, you don't know what you're asking for, because it is a great store, and as soon as they get everything completely set up, I'll do a video probably just to kind of, you know, let you guys see it, because they do also do eBay stuff and Discogs and stuff like that too. So really, really cool guys to work with. But anyway, just want to kind of share that. But yeah, let me know what you think as always. Any questions you have for the next Ask Mr. Hall of Fame video, throw them down below. I'll get them in the book and make sure I answer them. And until then, we will talk to you later, VC.